Unchain my heart, baby, let me go. Unchain my heart, 'cause you don't love me no more. Every time I call you on the phone, some fella tells me that you're not at home. Unchain my heart, set me free.
Hello everyone, welcome back to True Original Artists. Joe Kidd here. We have a great show today for you again. Once again, it's good to be back around Stoughton. I want to thank Smack for letting me come to Stoughton now and do my show out of here, which is my hometown anyway. So it's good to be back. That's number one. Secondly, I wanted to mention that I have a very good friend of mine, great guitar player, blues player. His name is Gregg Miller, and also another friend of mine, good friend of Gregg's, Hannes, which is another great musician from the past that we've known each other for a long time. And I'd like to welcome them on the show today. And I want to say hi to Gregg and thank you for coming on. And Hannes, you too.
Yeah, thank you.
And I'd like to first start out by saying I'm glad that we could get back together again and do something here again today because it's been a while. You were my first guest in Easton when I started almost 4 years ago.
4 years ago, right? Yeah.
So you were my first guest. So it's nice to have you back with me again. And I know we're friends and everything. It's just that sometimes you want to make that roundabout and see where we're at now, you know. The first thing I'd like to talk to you about is basically, I remember you in 2006, we talked about this before, with the King of the Blues contest from Guitar Center, right?
Yes.
And you entered that contest, and you entered it where in, which Guitar Center was it?
I think it was Attleboro.
Attleboro, yeah.
Yeah, and then we went on to, that was, good question.
I know,
Too
right?
long ago?
Yeah, it was too long, 11 years. Geez,
A long time, 2006,
That's
well,
fine.
10 years, yeah.
Yeah.
7, yeah.
Yeah.
God, don't remind us.
Then
I
yeah,
know.
another, then the regional was New York City.
Right.
And then the finals was Chicago.
Correct. So the semifinals were in
New York City.
New York,
Yeah.
and then the finals were in Chicago.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So now that we're talking about that a little bit, because we have some special clips that I put together with you playing live in both of those places. So before we get to those, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what you're doing now. So right now, you mentioned you're working on some new material.
Yes.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, we have 12 songs tracked right now,
Yes.
and with Hans Schneider right here.
Yes, howdy.
We've been writing for how long now?
Oh, good.
18 years or so.
Something more than that, I don't want to say.
Well, we don't have to talk about that.
Yeah, let's get that over there.
Well, we're
How long
finally,
ago?
we finally are tracking these songs. I took some time off to actually do that. So we have 12 songs, and actually we have 6 more that we have to work on. But we're going to release the 12 songs first.
Yeah.
So you're going to do an album.
Yes, we're doing
And then
a
we're
full
going to have
length.
another one ready to go right off the back burner.
Now, can I ask you something? Why are you choosing to go with 12? Because, no, the reason I'm asking, there's a reason why I'm asking that, is because a lot of artists, what they do is they take, if they have 12 already done and ready to go, they'll take like maybe 6 or 7 and make an album out of a shorter amount. This way, they already have another album in the book ready to go, so you can have one album at least maybe once a year. So by the time you get to 2 years, you got another one ready to go.
Well, we could actually we have 6 others pretty much completed.
Okay.
But we're not going to release that until the next
Yeah,
one.
we have,
Okay, I'm just curious.
We have a backlog
yeah.
of material. like,
Good.
We have
years,
a
yeah.
lot
Okay,
of material.
see, that's why.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah, so we're gonna. We wanted to get it out quick, so we're stopping at 12.
Now,
Yeah.
are these
I
songs,
still- That's the way
are
to say
these
it.
songs going to be basically a lot of blues-based material or
It's-
rock?
You know what? We were just discussing that on our
everything.
way here. It's everything. We haven't done a jazz number or a country music number on
Covered
this record.
everything else, though.
We covered pretty much everything else.
We got reggae,
Yeah.
we got heavy blues.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He plays this one lick like Lightning Hopkins on this song,
Oh,
Crack
nice.
House Mary. It's
Yeah.
just fantastic.
Lightning
Oh, that's
Hopkins.
great. That's great. Well, you know, it's always nice. I'm working with Gregg. I've had nothing but great experiences with working with him through the years and everything. We have had a lot of fun. And we've got nice gigs, a lot of nice places, and we've done a lot of good shows in the past. But now that we're getting older, it's nice to know that, you know, you're still involved. Like myself, I try to stay involved. I still work out there. I still play a lot. It's just it gets tougher when we get older. You know, there's a lot of young talent out there that taking our spots away. You know,
That's all right.
What do you think of that?
Hey, you know what? I'm an old road dog, so if they can handle that stuff that we've done, you know.
I know.
I've been
Knock
all
yourself
over the
out.
place, so knock yourself out. But I did take time off from playing, you know, in the region just to get the recordings
Right,
done. So,
right. Well, you need to do that.
yeah, so
It's good to take a break.
yeah, but now we're just putting something new together, and these recordings are coming really heavy.
Now,
They-
where are
they
you
sound
recording
really-
these? Are you have a specific studio you're using? Or?
Real to Real Studios, Billy Gilday's place in Weymouth.
Oh, yeah, over there?
Yeah.
Oh, he's still doing that?
Yes, he is.
Oh,
he's
good.
been there.
You know
Been
who
there forever.
I ran into and talked, I didn't run into actually, I talked to him on the phone, Phil Green.
Oh yeah, how's he
all
doing?
right.
Yeah, he's doing good. I talked to him maybe about
No kidding.
a year ago, yeah. And he's still cooking. He's
You know
still,
what? He
he's working
finally
with-
got an award down in Rhode Island.
Yeah,
for,
yeah.
for his producing.
Yeah, we
So
talked
I mean,
about that.
it's been years since he's
Yeah.
been doing that. And he finally got an award.
Imagine
for
that.
it.
I remember Phil,
Yeah.
it's funny because I remember Phil working at the channel when I was opening
Oh
up
my
for
God.
Meatloaf
It's
and
the first
Pat
place I ever
Travis,
played.
Molly Hatchet,
Yeah.
Ronnie Montrose. I was touring with a lot of those opening up for
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
And he was the sound engineer there. He was the
kidding.
house engineer at the channel for years. And then he went on his own and went to Rhode Island. He back and forth with a few things. He told me the whole story, but that's another show.
I used to hang with Stephen J. Holland. He
Oh,
lived in
yeah.
Marshfield
Sure.
when I was a kid.
Sure.
He was crazy, man.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, you know, back then there was a lot of crazy rockers out there. You know, it was a different time, a different era. You know, but
That's why I'm taking a break.
You know where I give a lot of we need a break, right? But you know where I give a lot of credit to is a lot of these young kids, which I noticed recently. You've welcomed a lot of these younger players and
Max
stuff.
Carpenter, for instance.
Max Carpenter's one
Oh,
of them.
he's an incredible guitar
Yeah,
player.
and he's only what 18, I think, 18, 19.
I think he's
Yeah.
17 or something.
Yeah, something like that. I
He
think
might
he's
be
18 now. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a great little,
He's a great kid too,
good kid.
and he's a great guitar
Oh,
player.
great
Really.
guitar player, man. He
Yeah.
can jam on the blues stuff.
Oh yeah.
He
Yeah.
can really play.
Yeah.
He's been doing a lot of good stuff for
He's
a
been
young
listening
kid.
to Dwayne Allman a
Oh, that's not a
lot.
bad thing at all.
No.
That is a good
Well, you know something, I think that's where, our era, I spent hours and hours on those albums,
Yeah,
picking up
lifting
the
the needle
needle,
up, yeah,
putting it back down,
down.
learn one part, put it back down,
Yeah.
back and
I'm
forth.
back into that now. I bought a nice record player.
Did you?
Oh yeah.
So
So
you-
I got my
still got all
specific
your old
power
albums?
amp,
Oh, good, yeah.
All my old albums, a specific power amp and speakers and the record player just for that.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That's really good. I
So
mean,
that's in the green room all cranked up.
it's so funny. Like even I tell my son, my son's been into like light rap, but he's a real good lyricist. I mean, really good songwriter.
He is too.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm talking about. My son's
Yeah.
a young kid. I'm talking about the young kids today.
Yeah.
And but the thing they got going is they got all this music and everything. They can download beats and this and that,
Yeah.
and they got a lot going on for them. The YouTube tutorials, which a lot of
Yeah.
kids don't even have to pay for lessons anymore. They can just
I
sit by
know.
the computer for 3 hours a day and give them
Absolutely.
6 months, and they're playing like champs. So I mean, I tell my son that all the time. I say, you don't understand the hours that we spent.
Oh,
Sometimes he'll hear me playing guitar downstairs and I'll go, gee, Dad, that sounded really good. What song was that you playing? And now, like some Allman Brothers tune or something, or whatever. And I'm still jamming to those stuff.
Yeah,
And he
yeah.
goes, I like that song. I like that song. And then, you try to explain to him, well, try lifting a needle on a record player
And
every
getting
2
right back to the
seconds
same sweet
and
spot.
try, right,
You
that's
know?
what I was just going to say. Finding the same exact spot,
It's called Incredible patience
Yeah,
and
yeah.
self-discipline.
Unbelievable discipline. Unbelievable discipline. It was really, that's
Yeah.
true as it can be. I mean, I'm not kidding. The hours and hours we used to do
Devotion. I know. I did it to Eddie Cochran and Chuck
Oh,
Berry
yeah.
and Buddy Holly.
Yeah.
that. And you know something? It's not just us, of course. It was all those guitar players back then. Everybody used to do that. But it's so much easier for
I
all
know.
these. That's why, you know, all
Yeah.
these shows now, like the American Idols and all this,
Yeah.
The Voice and all these shows, they got all these young kids there coming out on the stage and they're 15 years old.
Yeah,
and they're playing guitar, like
they're
doing all these
leveling
nice
the place.
changes. And I'm like going, oh my God. And it's amazing to me how, you know, how all these young kids are turning like thousands and thousands. Honest to God,
Yeah.
I went
There's
to
some-
an audition on The Voice.
Yeah.
I auditioned for The Voice.
Oh, did you?
I think maybe 2015, I think it was, and I just did it for the hell of it, you know. And I grabbed a girl singer that I used to work with, and I says, "Come on, let's go, me and you." We both signed up. We went to New Jersey where the Nets play. That was where they held them, and I'm not kidding you, man. It had to. They said there was like 85,000 people on that just the one day. I went on the Saturday, and then they had it on Sunday too.
85,000
On
people.
Saturday, and then another 80.
They
something
go
thousand.
through all those? I wouldn't want to do that.
But they have a great system. They have a great system.
Wow.
How they do it, they take you in groups
That's
of 10.
amazing.
Groups of 10, and you know the box seats up top in the
Yeah.
arenas? There's just a bunch of box seats. They take the groups of 10 into each box seat, and they have someone. They don't use the judges that are on the show.
Oh, yeah.
It's all different younger musicians, people that have music backgrounds and stuff. And they sit you down in a room, 10 of yous, and each one of yous gets to like a minute. You get up and you sing. It's all a cappella, no instrumentation. You're not allowed to use an acoustic guitar, nothing. You just get up and you start singing, and you do about a minute, and then they cut you off and they go, "Thank you," and you sit back in your seat and you let all 10 people go up. So after all 10 sing, then whoever is the judge at that room at that time will tell you, okay, the people I call your name, please stay in your seats. And then they'll call, like, say 2 out of the 10 got through. Those 2 will sit and the other 8 will walk out.
Wow.
And then they'll give the tickets to those 2
Do they-
to proceed to the next one.
Do they have
So
a
I
sen-
made it. I actually made it to the one before LA.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, that's not bad.
So it
That's
wasn't
pretty
bad.
cool.
The girl, she was great, good singer, and she was all upset because she didn't even make it to the next one, and I was like,
No.
oh my God! I thought she came out and she had a smile on her face as she's walking towards the car, you know, and I'm like, oh, well, she looks happy, you know. I think maybe, you know, good.
Yeah.
I hope she made it through too to the next round, and she came back to the car. She goes, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't make it through. So I felt bad for her, but the ride home was not too good.
Yeah.
It was a 3-hour ride that
Here we
not
go.
much talking. She wasn't in the mood to talk much, so I respected that. But you know, yeah, it was nice. But they run it really well. So it's really cool how they can put all those people. Unbelievable! I'm not kidding you. The
That's an
line.
insane amount of people. That's like.
I got there. There was maybe about 100 people when I got there. Me and her when we got in line. 100 ahead of us. By the time we
80,000
started getting called in, when they started calling
Yeah.
people into the stadium itself,
Yeah.
it was all around the whole building. I mean, it was incredible. I've never seen.
How long
anything
would you
like-
wait to get in?
Oh, we were there for like 8 hours.
Oh my God.
Yeah. By the time I actually got up and sang my thing, it was almost 8 hours.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding at all, my man. I
Can I
wish I
take-
was kidding.
Can I take a nap or something here?
And then I, you know, after that whole thing went on and everything, and then I didn't make it through to the final one in LA. But you know, I was happy to even just go through it because I didn't even expect to make it to the second round. So it was nice.
I did the competition also in 2006. I did it on a whim. I was like, I'm not doing anything else, you know.
The
But
Guitar
I think I was in
Center
between
competition.
gigs.
Right.
I was in between gigs at the time, and I was like, sure, why not?
Yeah.
You know.
I don't blame you. I mean, I thought they did a great job with that too.
Yeah, that was good. It was about 4,500 people.
See?
you know,
And that's a
nationwide.
small little thing. That's
That
like
was
a
pretty
Guitar
small.
Center
Yeah.
store.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
imagine a nationally televised program.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they did a good job with that, really. And, you know, God bless you, man. You did a great job. When I watched the clips and we talked last time when you
I actually
when you were on
don't
my
like
show.
the performance I did.
Well, you know something?
You kept saying that when
I-
you came back. You're like, I hate it. I'm
yeah,
like, well,
but-
let me watch it.
I mean, that's
I-
the first time I played a Gibson SG.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
That's probably why you didn't like your performance,
I
because you
didn't
didn't
like
have
it.
your ratty
I
Strat.
didn't,
Right?
I didn't have my old Strat with me.
I was
my baby
surprised.
with me.
I was actually surprised when I was watching that clip. I was actually surprised because I
is
seen
this?
you with an SG on the thing, and I'm like going, oh my God, what's he doing with that SG?
Yeah,
Les
you always see me
Paul
with
is
my-
one thing, but the SG, it's like.
I was
right?
like shocked to see you with an SG.
Everybody knows me in the Northern Hemisphere with that old Stratter on my
Yeah.
neck.
And actually, now that we're
And
talking,
I should have brought her with me because the next day I went to Europe to tour.
I could
Yeah.
feel you though. I could feel you. I could see you on that stage, and I know you that well, so that, I could say that. But I could actually feel you in pain. I could actually see you up there going like, "Oh man, where's my Strat? Where's my Strat?
is it,
Why didn't I
You know
bring
what?
my Strat?"
You know what? That's exactly
Am
what
I-
I was thinking when
am
I was
I right?
playing, you know?
See?
I was trying to make the best out of that
Unbelievable.
opportunity.
Were you
and-
doing
and
a Nancy Kerrigan?
and I could have done
Why?
it 10
Yeah.
times better with that Strat.
Imagine
Oh
that.
God, yeah.
63.
Oh yeah,
I love
but
that
listen,
guy.
let's cut it for just a minute because now that we're talking, because I wanted to talk to you a little about this because this is based on basically you winning that and you're going in the finals and all that, winning the semifinals and moving on to the finals. But we got a little clip of you doing an interview, so we're going to take a short pause, a real short pause, real quick, because I want the audience to check out this interview, which I thought was great of you, right on that segment from the Guitar Center. Okay. Here's a segment with Gregg doing an interview regarding the Guitar Center Blues competition in 2006. So let's check that out real quick, and we'll come back.
My uncle started me off. I saw him playing on the couch and really getting into really playing one note, blues style, you know. And I was really interested because he was always kind of focused on that and got that feeling. I asked him if he could show me some stuff, and he's a very impatient guy, so he sent me home with a B.B. King record. 2 weeks later, I was playing with his band. So.
Awesome. So you people out there are really going to enjoy this show because we do have some really good clips of Gregg playing and performing. So I'm excited for this show. And not only that, but Gregg's a good friend of mine, and we've known each other forever. We've shared stages together, and we've had a lot of fun through the years. So that makes it extra special today, having Gregg back with me here. I really appreciate that, and I want to thank you for coming back. And
Thank you for
Hans,
having
you
me.
too.
I'm crashing the party.
Speaking of Hans, we're gonna, since Hans is crashing our little party
Yes,
here.
I am.
He goes back a long time with us too. I mean, I've known Hans a long time too. How long have you known Gregg now? Maybe 20-something years?
22 or something like that, yeah.
Right. So he's part of the old crew out there, you know, and we've known each other for quite a long time. But Hans is good friends with Gregg and has played with him through the years. He took a little hiatus for a little while. He had some medical issues that he unfortunately had some neck and spine issues, correct?
Oh, yes, big time.
Yeah, so that kind of
Put me on the back burner for a while.
yeah, that took a toll. But I'm glad, honestly. God bless
Thank
you,
you.
man. I'm glad that you. I know all about that. I've had 2 back surgeries in the last 2 years, and they're not fun, and nothing's fun when it
Yeah, I
comes
didn't
down
see
to
it
that.
coming, man. You know, oh man, what am I gonna do now?
You still
Made
have
you
your brain, though.
I do.
Well, half of it.
Actually, you were paralyzed for a while, right?
I was, yeah, from the neck down. I couldn't move.
That's
My
incredible.
hands are still like a little messed up, but I can walk and everything like that. You know.
Well, I'm glad that you're back in action and at least sitting with Gregg and co-writing some stuff with him, and I'm sure that inspires you a lot as far as getting you back in the swing.
Oh,
of
it's
things,
been great, yeah,
You know,
you know.
I
I feel
mean,
like
we
I'm
all
doing-
need that.
Yeah.
You know, without that inspiration, when you go down hard like that, it's
Yeah,
it's
no fun.
tough getting back up. Now, tell me a little bit about Hans when you were playing years ago and stuff like that. You know, what kind of guitars did you play? Give us an example.
Oh God, I've owned everything under the sun. The whole
What was your
hack-
favorite guitar?
My favorite is the one I still have, and it's my Hohner Telecaster copy.
Oh yeah.
You know, I had a Hagstrom that was all vinyl.
sounds
Blue
They
great.
never
vinyl.
die.
Yeah, it's great. And I had a Harmony Rocket, a 58 Harmony Rocket. That was one of my favorites.
Oh my
And
God.
I've had real Telecasters, Stratocasters. I got rid of them all. I kept the Honer.
Now, wasn't those Harmony guitars? Did you buy them at Sears and Roebuck? Right.
My aunt,
Right?
my aunt got it with a Fender Supro amplifier in
See?
1958, and I had the whole setup. It was
Imagine that.
fantastic.
Supros. Oh, I
That's
had
so
one of
funny. But you know something? You're right, because a lot of good guitar players used to take those guitars and just refurbish them a little bit, throw some nice pickups in there,
the
some
thing was,
humbuckers or something.
It had 3 pickups, and it had a volume and tone for each pickup. And so
Right.
it had a big thing all around, and it had a switch that went 1, 2, 3, all. And it was this thing would rage when you tried.
You all you had to do was read, right?
Exactly, bang, and then it's got that 15-inch Jensen speaker in the Supro. You just turn it up.
See?
It's like,
Oh, I love
That's
that.
and that you can make those old instruments scream.
I
That's
love
what
it.
That's where we're all
You
influenced by.
remember that
you
guy
know?
that we used to, remember when you used to do the open mics at Mara's in Quincy?
Oh, God,
yeah.
There was a guy that used to come in. Actually, I went there one night. Remember that time I went up and sang with you a couple of songs and stuff. And there was a guy in there. Once I got off the stage, he came up to me and was talking with me and saying, "Oh my God, that was fun watching you up there with them guys, and you had the place rocking." And I'm going like, "Yeah, who are you?" And then he looks at me and goes, "Oh, I build guitars." And he comes over and he goes, "1 second." He goes over and gets this guitar. And it was one of those old, like a Kent or something.
Oh, yeah, I know. You have the
And
Sears ones, yeah.
Yeah, it was like an old Kent, and he brought it
I
over
think
to
you're
me. And he
talking
goes,
about Billy. I think. Yeah, he just builds all sorts of stuff.
it's not Billy Parsons. It's-
No, no,
yeah,
no.
yeah.
There's an older guy.
Right,
Plum,
an older
vet-
guy.
a vet-
And he shows me this guitar, and I'm looking at it, and I mean, it had parts of every single
yeah.
thing on it. It was like
Frankenstein had nothing on those
Yeah.
guitars.
It was, what do you call that, Mr. Gadget, whatever?
Oh,
that,
Inspector Gadget.
Inspector
Inspector
Gadget
Gadget,
was
yeah.
something like he would come out with a guitar, had all kinds of different things, all different toggle switches. I'm like, I couldn't believe it. I'm going, does that thing really work? And he goes, oh yeah, it sounds great.
Yeah, he'd get up and play them.
I
too,
got
you
a
know?
kick out of that,
Yeah,
honest
that's
to God. I got a kick
Some of
out
those
of that.
guitars, I've been building some stuff lately, and
That's funny.
It's just, you can throw your own love
Yeah.
into it, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's
You
what
know,
it is.
love.
Yeah, a lot of love.
Yeah, well,
You got to put a lot of love into
Yeah.
this. But you're right. You know, it's so funny when you think back on those things. But those things stick out. You know, like like that. I'll never forget that. The
Yeah.
guy showing me that, I'll never forget that. I'm like looking at this guitar. It looks like something out of a UFO. Somebody took it out of a UFO.
He gave me a pick.
And the tones are guaranteed to be different. you know.
Unbelievable.
He gave me a loaded pickguard with 2 humbuckers in it, and
Oh.
I built a guitar around that.
See
and
that?
and we actually recorded "Sweet Little Thing."
Oh, yeah,
That that's the guitar I used
Oh, it's got
use
that-
on that song.
It's got that growl on
and
it.
you guys have a
Oh.
recording of that. Hopefully,
Yeah.
we can throw that into.
Yeah,
the
that's
mix
gonna
some-
we're gonna play that towards the end.
Yeah.
Wait till you
Actually,
hear the tone on
we
this,
have
man.
some nice clips on this show today, and
that's
actually,
a-
right now is a perfect time. I'm gonna switch over, and we're gonna throw Gregg on with I believe it's the semifinals. The semifinals in New York, correct?
Yes.
The one we were playing with the band live on stage.
That's the finals in Chicago.
That was the finals.
Finals in
okay,
Chicago.
This is a video clip we're going to throw on right now of Gregg performing live on stage. And this is in Chicago, right?
Yeah, House of
And
Blues in
he's
Chicago.
playing actually the guitar he won in the semifinals, an SG, a Gibson SG, which he's not usually playing an SG, trust me. I was shocked when I saw him with an SG on stage, to be honest with you, when I saw this clip. But I want
was
to
I
just
thinking?
throw this clip out for you guys out there and check out Gregg playing some. This is an electric guitar with a band, and I think you'll really appreciate this. So let's go to that clip right now. very good. And that was Gregg, and playing live, which you know, I mean, that's the way to go. I mean, you must have had a ball doing that, right?
I had a blast, yeah.
And meeting BB King.
I was
and
actually
everything.
late for that performance.
You were?
Yeah.
No.
You're never late,
The
Gregg.
stage manager came up to me and was like, Gregg, you're late. You're going on in like 3 minutes. You got to get over here. And BB King, I was talking to BB King at that moment, and BB King looks at me, don't you know that we're having a bleep conversation here? When we're done with our conversation, Gregg can go up on stage.
Oh,
and
no
I'm like,
kidding.
thank you very much, BB.
Isn't that funny?
cool.
No, you must have loved that. That must
Oh,
have
he
been,
was just
you must
a
have been on Cloud 9.
Cloud
then.
9,
Yeah,
Hubert
what he
Sumlin
said.
was there too.
Yeah.
Hubert Sumlin was just a gracious human being. You
See
know?
that?
He's just a superhuman being. I met some really good people that night.
Oh, that's
It
awesome.
was really cool.
That's really nice, man. I was real happy for you. You deserved it because you really are. You're one of the best blues guitarists, in my opinion, around here.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, you can really play. You can play with the best of them. So, I mean, I grant you that, no doubt there. And you know what I was watching the other day was funny because I was watching when we played. We did a gig when we first started playing, and you joined up with me. With Bruce McGrath.
Yeah.
Remember?
Oh, God.
Bruce,
The
Bruce
Goose.
unfortunately,
Yeah, the Goose.
God rest his soul. He's
Yeah.
passed. But what a horn player.
The monster.
That guy was incredible.
Yes,
but I
yeah.
have a video, and I'll let you. I'll burn a copy and get it to you. But of that gig that we did in Brockton at Joe Mulligan's, I think it was.
Oh, my
Do you
God.
remember that? They videotaped it, and it was me, you, Jack Leo,
yeah.
Bobby, Bruce McGrath, and Seth on drums.
No kidding,
Yeah,
huh?
and I just
Wow,
found
that's
it
a
the
long
other
time
day.
ago.
That was a long
Yeah.
time ago, ages ago. And I'm gonna say, I think it was like maybe, I think it's like 2001. Just out of the top of my head, 2001, 2002, right around there.
Yeah.
And but it was so funny because you were doing Mary Had a Little Lamb. That's on the video, and then
No kidding,
yeah, we
huh?
did a lot of Stevie Ray Vaughan that night because I knew that you knew a lot of his stuff, so I threw a lot of that in because I knew the lyrics to a lot of that.
I gotta see that.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I know,
you'll
huh?
like it because that was a good video. The guy was a professional videographer. I mean, he did a good job. He edited after, so it was nice. He took little cuts. It was a promo tape for us. But I thought I'd mention that to you today and let you know that I have a copy of that. I'm going to burn one for you. And the other thing I was going to bring up was when we did the Beachcomb in Quincy.
Oh,
Do you remember that?
The Beachcomb.
I mean,
Just recently closed, yeah.
did it?
Yeah.
All the good places are going.
Are
man.
you
It's
serious? It
becoming-
closed?
Closed,
It was
what,
open
a
last
year ago?
Well,
Yeah.
no, it was open last year for a little bit, I think.
It closed. It closed.
Maybe the end of the summer last year?
Yeah, it was a year ago,
Okay.
pretty much.
All right.
Place is still leaking though.
No way.
Ceiling is still leaking.
Isn't that crazy?
You know?
That was leaking forever.
It was.
Still is.
Since like 1965,
They haven't,
I think.
they haven't done anything with that room.
Well, of course not. He's not going to do nothing there.
Yeah.
They're going to probably tear that down and probably rebuild something else there. You know, a
Well,
restaurant or something.
telling you,
That's a
if I had the
perfect
money,
spot
I'd-
for an indoor restaurant.
If
Yeah.
I had the money, I'd definitely open up a live music venue.
Good
A
spot.
venue, not a bar, not a sports bar, nothing like
Right,
that.
yeah, yeah.
It'll be specifically for live
Just
music,
music.
because there's nothing around like that.
That place
anymore.
was packed, man. Every time.
Always, yeah.
I played there several times through
I
the
played
years
there hundreds
back
of
then.
times,
But
yeah.
back in the late 80s and stuff, I used to play there all the time. And let me tell you something. I love that place.
Oh, it's great. Great place to play.
Close by. You were home in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Packed all the time.
Packed.
Packed all the time.
never seen a place that could squeeze so many people
Yeah.
in
The
one
McGettricks,
place.
man. Jimmy McGettrick.
Oh, that was incredible. I honestly, so you people out there, I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that are watching this show right now that can agree with me on the Beachcomber over there in Quincy on Walston, and Walston Beach there. And I'll tell you, that was a fun place to go. Even if I wasn't playing, if I had a weekend night off,
Yeah, that's the place to be.
that's
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I
That
go
was it.
like I had a lot of, we knew everybody playing around the area back then.
Yeah.
And
Crashed
A
them.
lot of riffraff going in and out of that
oh
place.
my God, that place was crazy.
The dry dock, there's
Crazy.
another one.
Oh, the dry dock,
dry dock, yeah.
near Tasket
Yeah.
Beach. That was another place on Sundays. We had a
Oh.
lot of fun over there.
3 o'clock in the afternoon, all the way to close.
All
what
the-
a great
yeah,
time.
Yeah.
Well, we used to ride our bikes up there, you know, and I used to meet up with Jack Leo over there. You know, he had his bike, so we'd go up in there, and if he'd be playing on stage that day, you know, he'd get me up there, we'd sing a few songs, and then when they were done, when the night band came on, we'd all get on our bikes, and we'd take a cruise of like an hour or 2 hours, and take a nice cruise, and enjoy the day, and then we'd end up back there again. Of course,
now that place isn't the way it is. You know, it's another joint now.
Daddy's, right?
Yeah, and they don't do that anymore.
No,
that was great. Man.
So I mean, you'd pull up on your bikes and just go in, and then there'd be women coming off the beach in their two-piece bikinis.
Exactly, that was fantastic.
And that would just light everybody up, you know. So everybody had just a great time. That was a great spot. But it just doesn't happen anymore like that.
It was like
it's
the topless times would be all. All you had to do is, break into like Gloria or something like that.
Before that, what was that? That bar that came out 10 years ago, Coyote Ugly. This place was Coyote Ugly.
That's
way before that.
Absolutely, it really was. I agree. It was the good part about it was that you could actually go there, see a good band. Play some pool on one side of the place, dance if you wanted to in the middle of the room, and then people would come off the beach. You know, the girls, guys, swimsuits, sandals, barefooted. It was the only
half naked.
Well, you know, honestly, it was the only place on the whole strip there at Nantasket Beach that was grandfather claused in that. It was considered like almost like I would call a beach house type of place where you could walk in with bare feet because then all the other places that was not allowed.
Health code violation.
Yeah, you could not walk in with no shirt on and no shoes on. Stuff like that was not allowed anywhere else. That's the only place I ever knew actually back then that they could do that. So
yeah, we used to play. We used to play in the evening after the afternoon band. And when the afternoon band got a little bit older and just didn't want to do it anymore, then we started doing the afternoon.
We would tear it up then.
Yeah. It was at the turns. Everybody took turns.
Yeah.
Different eras. You know?
Yeah, that was a revolving door every weekend.
That was just rock and roll period.
That
right?
was
like
fun, man.
Yeah.
I really, honestly,
Old school.
I think about that. And those are some of the best memories I ever had back in the 80s, early 90s even.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think I started playing there around 94, 95.
Yeah.
In the evening. And then we all just started, then we all collectively got together like aliens or something.
We moved like a cloud over the whole.
And we're like, now we're playing the stage. All right, now come on in.
That was great.
And that's what it was, you know, like everybody just got
the bottom line, best musicians, best players around. I mean, if you wanted to see a good band, you know, that's where you go.
And everybody would just show up, and then all of a sudden you'd have like the best musicians on the South Shore would just walk in and sit in for like 3 songs.
Absolutely.
And knock it out of the park. All afternoon in the sunshine. You'd be liquor's flowing, women are looking great, music is fantastic.
I'm telling you, it was all there. Everything you wanted in a rock and roll environment was in that small little place.
It was, and it was great.
It was amazing how a small little joint like that would bring in.
I've seen some crazy things happen.
I know. Yeah. Like, no.
So we won't discuss that on the show.
Right. Can I just say one thing?
Go ahead.
It's family friendly.
Just be careful, it's a family show.
Yeah, it's family friendly. So. But one guy was really jealous over his girlfriend, so he comes in with a flare gun. At the back door, shoots it at the guy that's, fooling around with his old lady. The flare goes right by my face.
Yeah, I know.
Sticks in the wall. It's cindering the wall. We had to stop and blow it down with a fire extinguisher.
I know. Oh my God.
I mean, there's plenty of stories like that.
We could go on for hours and
Quarter
hours.
sticks of dynamite going off while the band's playing.
I'm telling you.
People getting pulled out.
People getting knocked out on the floor. And Roberta going, hello, can somebody pick him up? Oh my God!
I'm telling you, I used to help out at the door sometimes. On Sundays
rock and roll.
when a couple of the guys, when it was,
was a funky
Jimmy
place.
and Eddie.
Oh,
And,
God, yeah.
When Jimmy would be at the door and he'd go, "Hey Joe, watch the door for me. Check IDs and everything like this. I'll be right back. I got to go put another keg of beer on downstairs." And then he'd leave, and he'd never come back.
I know, God.
And I'd be
He's
like,
busy downstairs,
Jesus,
you know?
where is he at? I don't want to sit at the door anymore. I want to go out there and play some pool and
Down there smoking a blunt.
dance or something. I don't know what he was doing, but I'll tell you.
Oh, he's doing
he
plenty
used to say,
downstairs in
just
the
watch it watch for a few minutes. I'll be right back, and I'd be like, okay. I mean, then I caught on real quick.
Oh, yeah.
After 2-3 times, I said,
I
"Jimmy,
ain't
you have to
doing
get
that."
somebody else to do this because I can't sit at that door for 2 hours."
That was a very funky place.
Yeah.
A lot of. See those times, like when you see things happen that like right
Yeah.
in front of you, it's like, whoa! It's kind of weird at the time, but you look back at it, it's like, man,
Yeah.
I wouldn't give that up for nothing.
I
Because
know.
I want that again. I want a nice little joint like
I
that
know.
to just go and rock out.
Yeah,
on.
but you know something? When we were playing there, in those places that you're talking about, that type of place, back in those days when we were on stage, it wasn't so bad. It didn't affect us so much. But I did feel bad for the owners of the clubs
Oh,
and stuff
God, yeah.
because, of course, the cops would be on these places right away. The ABC would be in there right away. What's going
the
on? Who
ABC, yeah.
you're over serving, blah, blah. So the places did take a brunt
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
They suffered. They suffered because
did.
of that. But anyways, let's go back to this. We could talk for hours on all these stories. We all have
Hey,
some
I know.
stories. I mean, I know I got plenty. You got plenty. So, maybe after the show we can go have lunch or something and sit and
Reminisce.
rap for
Town
a
Spa
couple hours.
pizza.
Yeah, Town Spa. There you go.
love that place.
But anyways, for you people out there, I hope you're enjoying our
It's a plug, by the way.
our little conversation here going, and it's nice to remember all those times. It's good memories and a lot of fun, and it's all evolved around music. Thank God for the music in our lives, because I know I can speak for Gregg and Hans. Music has probably saved all three of our lives at
God.
one point or another. And I know for me personally, music's been there. In my heart, my soul, it's my passion. I love it, and that's why I do this show now, so I could constantly be reminded of how wonderful music is to me. And right now, that being said, we're going to take another quick look at Gregg doing an acoustic.
Another clip?
Another
Yeah.
clip,
Oh.
and I mean, this is all about you, my man. And another clip of Gregg playing. This time he's on an acoustic. At the same time, I think this was at the same thing, the same Guitar Center thing.
Oh, we did an acoustic thing.
Right,
we're
this
all-
was the all around-
Oh, that was the part of the live show. I did with the band, and then we got a chance to play an acoustic.
Correct,
number.
correct. Because you by yourself on this.
Oh, this is a good one. I remember
Yeah,
this.
that's why
yeah,
I want
remember
to
is
take
good.
this one. I want to take this.
I think I was doing Hideaway, the song
Yeah,
Hideaway.
this is a
Yeah.
short clip. It's not long, but it's just to give you another example of the quality of playing that Gregg can put out there. So enjoy this little clip, Gregg on acoustic. All right. This is great. This is great. I'm loving this so far. Having Gregg, my buddy, This has been awesome having him back here with me. I know he's been on a couple other shows, but this got to be your favorite with Joe Kidd.
Oh,
I would expect you not
No
to say anything
contest.
different. Exactly.
Of course.
And nothing against my buddy Frank Walsh and everything. Frank's had Gregg on the show too. Frank's my man. I love Frank.
What's up,
Walsh.
Frank?
A little plug to you, my buddy. And but Gregg and I have a good friendship that's been a long time, and I really appreciate that because he's a good guy, and I really appreciate Gregg. And I would like to go over a few more things with Gregg. We're going to talk a little bit now about the blues. So, Gregg, let's talk a little bit about the blues. Give me your take on like when you first started playing. Give us a little bit about the Stevie Ray Vaughan. What brought you into him and made the connection and all the stuff that you do now.
My uncles started me off playing when I really was getting focused on playing. He's just like me. I'm very impatient. So he was getting so frustrated trying to show me how to play. He's like, go home and take these 2 records with you. So one of them was B.B. King's Indianola, Mississippi Seed record.
So you don't mean that you had to do the needle thing?
Oh, I did.
Yeah, that was it.
So he
Pull
sent
the
me
needle
home with
up.
that record, and then he sent me home with Allman Brothers Live at Fillmore East.
Oh.
All right,
that's
Good album.
So, and they told me like 2 weeks later when I came back and started playing with them, I call him Uncle Gary. He's a friend of the family, but he's known me since I was
Right,
born. He
yeah.
he
I
was
have
the
a few
drummer
of
with
those
my
uncles.
with
Yeah,
my
I
with
know.
my Uncle Sut. They said, come on, join the band, like, so that's what they told me. They said I was good enough to play with them.
And
at
how
that
old
point.
were you back then, about?
At that point, I was 16, so I was a late bloomer.
Right.
I started late,
Me too.
and that was it,
Wow.
And then
So that got you
I
in-
started getting. I saw Stevie Ray actually just before he passed away
Right.
at a blues festival at what is now what is the Tweeter Center?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Was back then.
Changed so
I know,
many
what do they
names.
call
It was
Yeah.
it was
Great
Great
Woods.
Woods at the time.
It's still
Wasn't that
Great
the one?
Woods to
Wasn't that
me.
the one where he was
Johnny-
sitting on the stage? Was that before he got sober? He was sitting
He
on the
was
stage.
sober at that moment.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
at that point. But Johnny Winter was on that. John Mayall and the Blues Breakers were on that. Ron Earl was up there playing. Thank God for Ron Earl.
He's
I think,
fantastic, is he not? Oh my
There
God.
was,
saw that.
there was,
I saw him at
and then
Harper's
Stevie
Ferry.
Ray.
Oh.
Unreal. So
Yeah.
I went to that show, and that was the first time I saw Stevie, and I never really heard about him. So it was like, whoa. this
Never
guy's
looked
not-
back.
Yeah.
Incredible. And then the Neville Brothers came out.
Oh,
Jesus.
And that just knocked me out right
What a
there.
show.
That is
Oh, it
too
was
cool, the
insane.
Neville
It was
Brothers, right?
insane. It was.
What
it
a
was,
show,
Yeah, it just
man.
knocked me right out.
That's
And that was it.
incredible.
I mean, from that point on, I'd never looked back.
Yeah, that's incredible. Now you're talking some serious stuff there because those artists were.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, back in those days,
Knocked
man,
me out.
if you got a chance to see any of those, the Nevilles, the Stevie, all them, in live, especially at a venue like that, oh my God.
Then I started going
That
to
was
see-
the ultimate concert to go to. Well, back then was people like that.
Yeah, and then I started going to see concerts, and I saw Santana, Allman Brothers, Buddy Guy.
We went to the
about
same school.
24 times. B.B. King, I went to see B.B. King
Ton of times.
24 times. At every chance I would get, I go see those guys.
Imagine
And
that.
it just, every time I saw those guys, the chills just
Yeah.
ran through my body. All the hair in my body just stood
Isn't
up.
that amazing?
It
Yeah.
is
That is
amazing
amazing.
because you know
B.B.
what?
King was like he was sitting in
Nothing
his
like
living
it.
room and you were
Oh.
his best friend. You know
I'm
what I mean?
telling
He was like, you got to be kidding.
Nothing
me,
like
you
it.
know?
There's
It
nothing
is.
like seeing all those old guys, and
That's so true.
picture this. Like going to see these guys at a bar down the street, back in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah, well, can you imagine that?
Imagine
walks in
that.
and he's a big cat, man. Like, here
Imagine
we
that.
go.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. I mean, this is what I'm talking
I'm
about.
very fanatical about that.
Yeah.
Well, when you like, this is what we're talking about right here. It's amazing how the effect that those players had on us.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, the effect that they had on not just musicians, but mainly musicians,
Yeah.
was incredible. Because, like you said it exactly right. When you sat there, it didn't matter if you were 50 seats back or in the front row. you just felt chills.
Yeah.
I mean, I used same thing with me. You know, the goosebumps. I mean, they hit us like a Carlos Santana riff. Boom, when he go up and do that. Oh my! And you kind of like go, oh, right now I'm serious. I'm getting goosebumps right now.
These individuals, they carried a presence that you could feel from a distance.
Unbelievable.
I mean, you would know when they were in the room.
Absolutely.
You know, if they were not in the building and then they walked in, you could tell.
Yeah.
And it was like, holy moly! And to be present in that was like. I mean, when the first time I saw Johnny Winter the first time, he comes out in the channel with a cane. And, you know, they're helping him on the stage, and he puts that guitar on and look out. I mean, he would just floor the room, and he was no longer frail looking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
saw them both. I think it was Johnny Winter was the main act at the channel.
That's Blues Power. That's what.
Oh my God. I was a young guy too, maybe in my early 20s, and I was playing at the channel. And we were doing headlining shows on the weekends already.
Nice.
I was doing really some nice gigs up there.
Yeah.
And then there was a weekend that Johnny Winter was coming in, and I made sure I wasn't gigging that weekend because I wanted to go see him. So when I got there, it was the best move I ever did because then his brother got up with him and
Edgar.
and they jammed.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Oh boy!
Talk about a jam.
Yeah, it runs in the family, right?
Dude, I could not believe it. And they both, you know, the hair, the whole thing. It was like a show.
Yeah.
It was not a concert anymore. It was like a show. And I'll never forget that.
Imagine what Christmas was supposed to be like in there. You know what I mean?
One of my favorite records is, that Johnny Winter produced was Muddy Waters Hard Again.
Oh,
that is an unreal album.
That is really good.
Oh, that just hits you
That
right
is
where
good.
it counts.
Everything, the slide, I know.
That was before
Right in the nuts.
Was it before Frankenstein?
Oh, no. So I think
Was
it's
it after?
77, 78.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
77.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
So
right.
I don't know when Frankenstein.
I think it was
I don't-
77. Yeah, you're right.
I don't remember the year.
The live album when they started, when Johnny was touring with Muddy's band,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Muddy, that was around 70, 79.
79, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
right
I had
on.
just gotten out of high school
Just
when
before
they
he
were
passed
really
away.
blooming.
Boom.
I mean, they were booming.
I mean,
man.
Muddy Waters was around, the Blues Brothers were out in Martha's Vineyard, you know what I mean? That was a hot time
Oh my
back then.
God!
It's like, come
the
on.
blues were. It was
Jay
incredible.
Giles was a more heavier blues influence then. They were kicking the hell out of
I
it.
heard-
Kidding
you
me,
know
Jay
what?
Giles, I remember going to see him down at
I heard
Brockton
they were-
High School.
I
Kids
heard they
on
were
Coliseum,
amazing.
remember
My
that?
friends
Live.
were going to
Back
Brockton
in the
High
day.
at the time, and there was a dance, a high school dance for Christ's sake. And they said, "Hey, come on, there's a great band playing." I didn't know who that was. I walked into the high school dance with a bunch of friends of mine, and they invited me down. We went to this dance, and Jay Giles was playing that night. I was like blown away. I'm like, who is this guy? I think I never put my guitar down for three months.
Yeah.
I
know,
wanted
right?
to do everything they were doing.
Yep.
But good inspiration. Good inspiration.
Yeah.
And now let's talk a little bit about the guitar stuff that the guitars and stuff. The different. I know, Greg, you just love your Strat there that you have, and I always make fun of you because it's so ratty looking. And I say this to you, it's just funny because you're one of the few friends of mine, musicians that are so good and talented, but you'd expect a guy like you with your talents to be up there with a flashy, like a Stevie Vai, with the flashy white guitar, beautiful princess looking
Get some
thing.
mileage on this.
To be honest with you, I put that in my 63 Strat. Ronnie Earl actually owned that. It was a black Strat at the time. And Peter Scalsis down in Bridgewater. You know Peter Scalsis?
Yeah,
Well, he got it from Ronnie, and he refinished it before I got it. So he refinished it that blue color that it was, but over time, I just abused that guitar. It just kept on singing. The thing just keeps on singing.
You
it
did
still
abuse
does.
that guitar.
The thing, it's
all right.
it's incredible. The thing,
I'm surprised you didn't hit somebody
I
over the
put-
head at shows with that thing. That's been
I think
true
I did.
everything.
I think I did a
He
couple
dropped
of
it out of a bunk bed one night when we were playing up in New Hampshire. I'm like, at 3 in the morning, I'm like, what the hell is that
The thing
sound?
still lived. It was
Yep.
like, boom! And everybody
still
went,
into
what
it.
happened? I started crying. I thought it was broken, and there's not a
Still
scratch.
into it. He picked it up. Ring.
I
extra
just love
scratches on
talking
it.
about that guitar because to me, it's just a signature Gregg Miller thing because because it's like when I see him on stage still today with that guitar and stuff, I look over to him, and say, "Go ahead, take a solo," and I see the guitar and I go, I'm looking at it, and it's like that thing. You sure it hasn't been through a tsunami or a hurricane or something? Because
Hurricane Gregg.
But I'm telling you, you can really.
That
jam
guitar,
on
I
thing.
put that thing up. There was the Ave guitar shop. What was the name of that
Wasn't
place?
it Daddy's
Oh,
Music?
Daddy's Junkie.
Yeah.
On,
Daddy's Junkie.
Daddy's Junkie
on
Music.
Ave. I put in that it was like this wall,
Yeah.
full of strats,
Right.
and everything from Japanese, Korean strats to signature strats
Right.
to everything,
Mexican.
American standards, everything. I put that guitar into a Gibson amp and played that thing after every one of those guitars, and that
Hands down.
that Strat, hands down, sounded the best out of all.
I believe it. I believe it.
Hands down, and
I
even
believe
the
it.
salesman couldn't believe it.
That's
Now-
cool, yeah.
Now, have you done?
They all stood around me while I did it,
Yeah.
and they were like, "I can't believe this."
Yeah.
It just,
No, you
it
do.
just
You get
sounds-
some incredible sounds out
It
of
just
that thing.
sings. It sings.
It
It really does.
Yeah. Well, along with your fingers.
It's
but
an
it-
old.
I mean,
It's an old Strat.
Integral
you know, it's an
part of
old
the
one.
equation
Yeah,
right there.
but
an old one, so-
not everybody can make that guitar sing. I mean, that's a Gregg Miller special right there. But
You're
anyways,
so special, Greg.
yeah. Let's.
I'm starting to feel it.
Yeah, no, you are. But listen, let's talk to Hans for a little bit. Let's talk to Hans about the new stuff you guys are doing before we finish it up with the show a little bit. So what made you guys decide to hook back up again after? I'm sure, of course, after you got a little better and
Well,
everything.
I was sitting around the house doing nothing, drinking myself stupid, and he came over and he's like, "That's enough. Let's go. We got 100 songs. Let's start recording." So I
good.
said, "All right."
Because you were a great musician too. I mean, it's a shame what happened. But same with me, man. I played guitar for 20 years, and then
Yeah.
I had a minor bike accident, messed up my 2 fingers. That's when I started hiring guys like Greg. And
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when my band, I had a 3-piece band when I was doing all the gigs in Boston years ago in the early 80s, opening up for everybody. Meatloaf,
I started
like
in
I said, all those
89
guys.
too, yeah.
But then when I had when I had the accident, my fingers were messed up. The bass player and drummer was just 3-piece, and I was the only guitar player doing everything.
Well,
leads and everything.
I had to reinvent myself because everybody would just follow me, and now I'm like,
Right.
"Oh hell, what do I do?"
That's what I'm getting at. This is why I'm bringing this up, because I know how you must feel, because I've been there.
feel
and
naked. You're like,
it's really crazy.
I'm like, "Do I have my pants on?"
Yeah. No, it's part of you. You're right.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Well,
part of
for
you.
instance, you guys have a good point, because the song that we have for you today, "Sweet Little Thing," he wanted me to play it. You had a different idea of
Right.
it. Then when I started doing my thing to it, I put that stamp on it, and it actually it worked.
It was unbelievable.
So it was like I really didn't understand what you were trying to say.
But then I said, I was like, "Oh well, I kind of want to get like a Jimi Hendrix Fire kind of thing." And you went, "Oh," and then you turned the tone
took
up on
off.
that guitar in the amp. And we literally, this is the 3rd time we played the song, and we went
Third
right
time.
to tape.
And you knew, right?
It was bang.
We rehearsed it,
It's live. It's basically live.
It's nice when that happens, isn't it?
really.
We rehearsed it once.
Yeah.
Then we did a take, and then the 3rd time we played that song, that was the keeper,
Boom.
and that's
Yeah.
what you're going to hear.
See?
Yeah.
And we will be playing that, by the way, at the very end of the show. At the very, very end, you'll see a music on the very end, and that is
It's copywritten too, so don't you even think about stealing it.
Yeah.
That's
a
Greg.
warning, you
That's
have been
Greg.
blown.
There you go. That's Greg and Hans on that, and it's called "Sweet Little Thing,"
Yes,
which
it is.
we'll be playing at the very end of this show. At the very end,
Yes.
you'll hear it. It's a rocky blues tune, very good.
It is.
I heard a few parts of it earlier, and so we'll be doing that at the very end.
It's a rough mix too, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not even a completed
Yeah.
product,
But it's pretty. It's that much.
It's-
Yeah.
that much.
That close is
to
that
being
close,
finished.
yeah.
No, I thought it was good. I mean, for a demo, I know what you mean. But for the people that don't understand, we always put out a demo first so we can hear it and
Yes.
fix any things that we might want to change on a song that we write. or
Throw it
something
away.
like that. Yeah, or throw it away. You're right. I've done that many times. But
this
then
is not fit for public
Yeah, we got to redo that one.
But you know something? You never throw it away totally,
This
because
is true.
there's another day that you're working on a new song, and then all of a sudden you go, "Oh, wait a minute!
What about
the
that
part
one?"
from that song will fit perfectly."
That's
into
so
this
true.
one."
That is so true. I'm going to put that in here because they go together. And
That
then
is right.
Two
That
songs
is right.
become one.
It's funny how that works, but the connections are always there.
Yeah.
So anyways, I want to thank everybody for watching my show here in Stoughton. I'm so happy to be at SMAC, and I want to thank everybody here, Jeff Pickett, Mike Hammond, CJ, Dave Young. They've all been really good to me so far. Everything's wonderful, and I'm so happy to be here. And I hope everybody's enjoying, because I'm going to have some good guests coming up on this show. And I want to thank Gregg and Hans.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, we'll be back.
Oh, yeah. You'll be back. You'll be back.
Maybe with some acoustic guitars.
No, next time you'll be back, because you're going to bring your new album.
Oh,
yeah.
And we're going to
Okay.
talk
Sure.
all about
That's
all the
right,
songs.
yeah.
And then instead of video clips, we'll have audio clips.
I
So
like that. I
we're
like
going to
that.
work that in.
Yeah, that'll be a 12-song record.
Well, there you
LP,
go.
long playing.
All right. So we're good to go. And I want to say good night and thank you very much. And don't forget, at the very end of this show, after the credits, you will be hearing Gregg's new song with Hans called Sweet Little Thing. And thanks again, guys.
Thank you very much.
And I appreciate it.
We had a guy in town.
Thank you very much. Good night, everybody. True Original Artist, Joe Kidd here, signing off. Thank you.
Like a man at a train, heading my diamond way. Oh man, I don't stand a chance, no. Oh, you don't care. So please set me free. I'm in love with the girl next door. She's out back and yonder up the road. She comes over every once in a while. When she's here, I just can't help but smile. Sweet little thing, you make my heart sing. Sweet little thing, you make my heart sing. She's from the south, she got a southern drawl.